The allegations that have been in the public realm now are allegations against the former Premier's Chief of Staff.
You know, there's no doubt that this gas plant scandal is just as much Kathleen Wynne's scandal as Dalton McGuinty's, and that's what the evidence shows.
Ontario Premier Kathleen Wynne is demanding $2 million. I guess I have to say it like Dr. $2 million in damages because the official opposition dares to criticize Her Highness for her conduct involving illegally deleted emails from government computers. She has launched a lawsuit against PC leader Tim Hudak and MPP Lisa MacLeod. The Premier also wants an apology from the two. It is a classic slap suit, strategic litigation against public participation. It is lawfare. Sun News contributor Chris Schaefer joins us now with more from our Toronto studio. Chris, good to see you again. When you are in politics, you are in the attack and defend business. And if every time someone asked you a tough question or made an insult, you slapped them with a slap suit, I mean, that would break our democracy. I mean, answer the question or shrug it off. But to sue, it sounds unusual.
It's frankly not unusual. We've seen this time and time again. Politicians try to stop other politicians, opposition parties, are bringing up sensitive issues that they'd rather not discuss. So there is precedent.
With defamation suits like this?
Yes, it's happened before a number of times.
Huh. Well, I guess I haven't been paying close attention. Do they ever get beyond the showy press releasey stage? I mean, I understand the PR value of a slap suit, because you know what? As soon as Kathleen Wynne hired her hotshot lawyer to slap Hudak and MacLeod with this, I know the discussion that went on in every newsroom in the city. Oh, be careful about this. Rein in our language. We don't want to be sued too. So it immediately had its desired effect by chilling the conversation about these illegally deleted emails. Do you think this has any chance of proceeding to an actual court, or was its sole purpose the libel chill?
I can't say, I'm not their lawyer, but no doubt they've looked at their situation and thought, the cards are strong for Wynne, she would argue, and Hudak is sort of entrenched himself now, and MacLeod is entrenched himself, saying, no, we're not going to apologize, we're not going to retract. So they must have looked at their cards and feel they have a strong hand too. Whether it gets to actual courtroom where you get discovery and some secrets and some issues then get public light.
Well, that's what discovery is.
Whether any of those parties want that to happen is questionable here.
Discovery means you get to discover the private documents that someone else has. And it's an amazing power. I mean, I just went through a lawsuit at the hands of a censor myself. And discovery, you can't say, oh, you need a search warrant to get that. Like if the cops come to your house and say, give me your stuff, you can say without a search warrant, get out, sir. But in a civil lawsuit like this, you can't refrain from showing all your cards. You've got to give your private emails, your private memos, everything to the other side. So Wynne has locked herself into a process that she may regret if it goes to term.
Exactly, and then there's privilege issues. So you can libel, slander, defame all you want in court and not be held, you can't be sued for libel.
And same in the actual chamber of legislature. You can say anything in Parliament.
Absolute privilege.
Yeah. Now, you know what though? It seems so, I mean, again, to refer to my own defamation lawfare case just last month, that took 6 years to go from the original statements to trial. 6 years. So I think Kathleen Wynne has made a bet. She'll get all the PR value of this slap suit now, all the libel chill value now, and she's got years, i.e. another election. Like an election may happen as soon as this year, for sure next year. This suit is so far in her political future, I don't even think she cares how it goes, because if she wins again, that's great. If she loses, she doesn't care.
Exactly. That could be part of the strategic litigation advice she received from her lawyer.
Now, I want to talk about something that, because the Ontario Liberals have actually introduced anti-lawfare or anti-slap legislation themselves. Let me throw it on the screen here. We've talked about this on the show before, about slap suits filed by wind turbine companies to shut up little protesters like our friend Esther Reitman. Let me read from the key paragraphs of this bill. The purpose of the bill is to encourage individuals to express themselves in matters of public interest, to promote broad participation in debates, to discourage the use of litigation as a means of unduly limiting expression, and to reduce the risk that participation by the public in debates will be hampered by fear of legal action. Those are 4 outstanding objectives of this anti-slap bill. I think all 4 of these apply to Kathleen Wynne herself.
Well, there's some irony here when you're pursuing what could, or at least seem to be, slap litigation when you've got a bill before the legislature that your own very party introduced designed to combat slap libel lawsuits. So there's some irony there, no doubt.
You know what? I believe that the left used to truly love free speech when they used it as a tool to attack the establishment. But now that the left is the establishment in Ontario, in the United States, in the climate extremist movement, they no longer love free speech for itself because they've already achieved power. Now they want to use it to silence those on the outside, opposition leaders, little grassroots protesters like Esther Wright, critics of radical Islam like myself. I think that the left has lost their love for free speech. Gay rights, you know, and that's the thing about freedom of speech. It's a gift you have to give your enemies if you want it for yourself. Do you think the left has fallen out of love with free speech, Chris?
You've cited a number of examples. I would agree with you. They tend to not want to hear about things they don't agree with. And instead of what used to happen decades ago, you'd have the encouragement of free debate and discussion about these ideas. Now they just sort of, what I've seen time and time again, especially on university campuses, is just stop the speech before it ever gets heard and stops those people that don't want to hear from hearing it, but more importantly for them, stops other people that haven't had an opportunity to hear those thoughts, those opinions, from ever hearing them in the first place. And I think that's wrong, Ezra.
So, you know what, Chris, I can't say how happy I am that you are now a permanent commentator in the Sun News Network. I loved having you on the show when you were with the Canadian Constitution Foundation. It's great to have you part of the Sun team. You're one of my favorite guys.
Thanks,
Good to
Ezra.
see you again.